Planet Zoo has been rated E10 by the ESRB for crude humor, mild blood, and mild violence. It has been approved for all players aged 10 years and up. Howdy folks, good morning. This is Jack. Welcome back to the Greensborough Zoo. I hope your holiday season was nice. Mine was excellent. Got together with family, spent the Christmas holiday with family. Presents were cool always. Getting gifts is always a good thing. Makes you feel better. And boy, there was a lot of pie. I don't know about your house, but we had a lot of pie here. Anyway, guys, what I'm going to be doing is, in this episode, is I'm going to be adding aardvarks to our zoo. I was absolutely surprised that we don't already have aardvarks in the zoo. But apparently we don't. Let me add just a couple of trees here. So anyway, while I'm adding trees to blank spaces, aardvarks are our next mission. Let me enunciate a little better. But yeah, like I said, my holidays, spend them with family. Got some neat new toys. Of course, at my age, toys aren't actually toys. They're, useful items, because I'm at the age where I ask, when it comes to Christmas gifts, I ask for things like I need a lamp for my end table in my room. I could use some more shirts. Not that everything that I got was, boring or whatever. I actually enjoyed getting some of them. I got a couple of some really cool posters from Displate that let me get away with being a 60-year-old geek. You're like, oh, well, what Displate posters did you get? I got an Optimus Prime poster, guys, because I'm a Transformers fan. Interesting story about how I ended up a Transformers fan. My baby brother, Nathan, and of course, I say baby brother now, but he's 50 years old now. But he's 10 years younger than I am. And when I was, 16, 17, and he was 7, the Transformers toys were just coming out. And I got him a couple for birthdays and such. And he loved them. He still does. 50-year-old man, he still plays with Transformers, which is, I think, just cool. And so anyway, I didn't really think much of it. They were kids' toys. He liked them. And getting them for Christmas and birthdays and things like that made him happy. And I liked my baby brother being happy because, I had 10 years on him. Well, I still do have 10 years, but you get what I mean, And so when the Transformers movie, this animated cartoon, full-length movie came out, I took him to see it. And, me and the young lady I was seeing at the time, a really lovely young woman who brightened my life for a little while when in my late teens. We took my little brother to see the Transformers, and she thought it was just cute that I was doing this for my brother, and she loved the fact that let's go do for his birthday we're going to take him to see this Transformers, and she had fun doing something nice for the kid for his birthday, and I had fun doing something nice for the kid for his birthday. But I came away from that movie with a bigger appreciation of Transformers. So I became a fan of them too because my baby brother Oh, excuse me. It's early morning, so I'm yawning. So but I became a fan because my baby brother was a fan, and I wanted to make my baby brother happy. So yeah, that's how I became a Transformers fan. And like I said, I got a couple of shirts. I got a GoPro. I did not ask. I made a casual comment sometime like in, I don't know, February, about how, if I had a GoPro, I could record my visits to the theme parks and put them on my YouTube channel. Little did I know that somebody heard that and went, "We've got to get Jack a GoPro." So I've got a GoPro with all the, connections and the straps, and they wear them wherever you like, kind of thing. And it's very cool, and I'm going to have fun with it. And you guys are going to get to see my Disney visits. Ha 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 ha. So anyway, let's check and see if there's anything that needs to be taken care of. Rahat has died. The vets will take care of that. Protesters have arrived. Okay, what are they protesting? They are not protesting anything. Okay, I love it when that happens. The protesters arrived. Nope, the problem fixed itself. Okay, Jaguar is fighting because of overcrowding. That's fine. We can handle that. Let's see. Jaguar. Oh, yeah, I was looking at my habitat animals earlier. So, okay. All right, we have two juveniles we can go ahead and ignore. We have 1, 2, 3 young adults. Those are the ones we need to do something with. So what we're going to do, yeah, Oberon and Titania are staying around. Herman, Beanie, and Maxwell are going to be released to the wild. 1,569 conservation credits. That's always a good thing. And while we're at it, we're going to give the youngsters here new names because I respect Aztec names and culture and all that number. I cannot pronounce it. So this is going to be, this is a girl. She's going to be Charlene. Tezcatlipoca. I think. I'm just going to name him Teddy. Let's correct the misspelling on the name of the Jaguars with an S, not Jaguars with a. Okay, and what's the problem? Do they have a problem? I hope not. I hope they're doing well. And that should take care of that problem. So, Komodo dragons are fighting because of overcrowding. Probably the same thing. A case of juvenile animals growing up. Okay. Yep. All right. Diane and Bagas, enjoy your life in Indonesia. Okay, what else do we got? Okapi are fighting because of overcrowding. Alrighty. And the Okapi. Yep. Young adults. Malawi. Malawi is going back to the Congo. Oh, while I'm here, I might as well show this to you. I was just tinkering, just fooling around, and I ended up adding ostriches to the zoo, which is fine. They work. So anyway, I'm going to be adding aardvarks, and I wanted to add them right here. Now that I believe that's all the fighting and things like that. Yes, yes, okay. Brown snake died. The jaguar, right? A copy, huh? Yeah. So yeah, we're caught up. So let's. How much space do I need here? Because I know I have two adults and a juvenile in my storage, so I need two adults and a juvenile. 420 square meters. Well, I got an idea. What we'll do is we'll come back here and we'll get the size guides. And I won't grab the 500. What I'll do is I'll grab the 250. And then what we can do is this. Okay. And what we'll do is something like that. That'll give them plenty of room. And here what we'll do is we'll take this path out completely. And we'll bring it along this side when we finally put the path down. And we'll put another one out so it goes around there. I think what we can do, we're going to move this little bit of foliage. It's a good plant placement. It's a good plant cluster. Looks good, but it's in the way, so we're going to move it. And this rock outcropping here, I'm just going to do this, and that's going to form the back wall of our habitat. Like so. You know what? We're going to move this again. We're going to move this over here. Am I winging it? Yes, I am. I am making this up as I go along, guys. Because all I had plans for, my only plan for this episode was Aardvarks, right? But the specifics, I got no, I'm making this up as I go along. Specifics. The specifics of what the aardvark habitat's going to look like, what shape it is, where I'm going to put it. That's all improv. I'm going, okay, I think it works if it goes over here. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do it that way. There. That'll let me put a gate here, and it'll lead back to that path right there. I mean, I've seen some of the other the Planet Zoo content creators. I look at them and I watch the videos, and they're like, yeah, I planned this out completely in my notebooks, and I'm like, I'm not that organized. And I know that this is probably one of the things that keeps me from being one of the legendary Planet Zoo players, like, the Lady Designer and Caesar or Rudy. But I think my stuff looks good and I'm having fun. So does it really matter if I'm as elegant and organized as any of those guys? I don't think it does. I don't think it matters at all. Okay, so what kind of aardvarks need grade 2? Only 2 feet? Wow. Okay. Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make use of this. We're going to put glass in the visible areas for the guests. So Yeah, like that. We're gonna put the glass barriers right here where the guests can see them. And we'll use the solid net barriers for everything else. Sound good? Sound good. Okay. And as I said, I am winging it, which means I will add to, remove from, change the shape of, I mean, look at this. This is cool, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this number. Bring this over here, bring that back down here. Match up those poles so they look like one pole. Like that. And yeah, that means I'm going to have to adjust the barrier, but that's fine. Adjusting the barrier, absolutely. Let's adjust barriers all day long. If it makes it look good, makes it look better, I'm all about that. And I hope you guys don't mind all the fence work. I think fence work is one of the most boring parts of this game. Boring to do, boring to watch, but it's also one of the most necessary. Let me know if you guys want to keep watching every single moment of my build, or if you want me to go back to using speed builds. I'm fine with it either way. I want you to know that, okay? I am utterly fine with it, no matter what. Now, we are going to have to do some adjustment here. I think I know how I'm going to do that, because aardvarks are relatively shy animals. I'm giving them a lot of public exposure with the crowd. Okay, Chinese pangolin offspring inspector arriving in 8 months. That's okay. Nothing we need to interrupt the build for yet. I do pay attention to the alerts, just so everybody knows. And of course, the reason I use these fences, I keep using the same fences over and over, is because I like the consistency and appearance. The local zoo, the Brevard Zoo, excuse me. Okay, which is my local zoo. And hey, now that I got a GoPro, I will be going to the Brevard Zoo, and you will be getting a good look at my local zoo. But whoops, you know what? That's not going to be. That doesn't have to be glass. Let's go get the other wall now. Here we go. Where'd I put it? Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. Okay. Anyway, the Brevard Zoo here in Melbourne, Florida. It has unified. That's the word I'm looking for. I used to be so much better at speaking English, and I got old. So anyway, it has a unified look too, and I like the fact that it does. It makes it seem nice and planned out. Like they know what they're doing. Does that make any sense at all? I hope so. That's it makes it look like the people who run the zoo know what they're doing. All right. Let me do this real quick. I know I haven't finished the habitat quite yet, but while we're on the subject of the barrier, oh, I hope you're picking me up okay. Please let me know in the comments if you can't hear me very well, because I rearranged my recording setup. I got a new desk for Christmas. I desperately needed a new computer desk, so I got a new computer desk, and it's one that's supposedly specifically designed for YouTubers. You know, the layout is better, and but I also had to remove some of my soundproofing because, well, to not to you know not to put too fine a point on it, but they were being used as shelter by bugs. I'm not going to lie, I live in Florida. If you live in Florida, you have a roach problem. It's just a part of what Florida life is like. If you live in Florida, you have a roach problem. And you are constantly fighting against the roaches. And it's nothing you can really do. You know, we live in a tropical area, and I don't want to say that I'm like covered in them or anything, but if you have a home in Florida, you're gonna have roaches, and you have to be careful. You know, get rid of their shelter. Don't leave food out. You know, every once in a while, just blitz the hell out of them with bug spray and shit like that. Well, that's what I was doing. I was spraying around for bugs, and I had a guy in from Massey Pest Control, and he said, you know, those soundproofing panels, they love those things because it's nice and warm back there, and they can move around, and you won't even know they're there. And I went, what? And he said, yeah. And I said, should I get rid of my soundproofing? And he goes, well, you know, that's up to you, but I would. So I got rid of a lot of my soundproofing. And let me tell you guys, I pulled a couple of these panels off my wall, and holy shit, it was like they're having a party back there. I didn't, you know, the old joke is that for every roach you see, there's 5 that you don't, 10 that you don't, something like that. Anyway, the point is, I did get rid of my some of my soundproofing. So if it doesn't sound the same, I apologize, but that's why. So let's adjust barriers. We're going to just adjust the barriers to the location of the fence. I know. I bet you when you started to watch the video, you were never expecting me to suddenly talk about roaches or bugs. It's not just roaches, ants, moths, wasps, flies. I love living in Florida, do not get me wrong, and I would never live anywhere else, mostly because I promised myself when I was younger. I managed to survive 3 years of a Kansas winter and 1 year where it got down to 60 below zero. And I swore after that I was never going to live where it snowed again. Ever. That was enough winter for me for my entire freaking life. So I came back to Florida and I never looked back. I love Florida. I love being a Floridian. You know, I was born here. And I know we have a reputation for, you know, what weird, you know, Florida man. Yeah, let me tell you about Florida man. Most Florida men, when you hear the Florida man stories, most of them, yeah, they're transplants from Ohio. They're people who moved here from Ohio. So, don't get me started on how weird Ohio is. All right. Besides, there's a reason why we have all those Florida man stories, and it's a pretty good reason, actually. Um, Here in Florida, we have what are known as sunshine laws. And the sunshine laws say that all public records, every single public record that the government generates, every document the government generates is automatically part of the public record. And as part of the public record, anybody can look at it. Anybody can go in and go, what's going on, and read those documents. And that includes, for example, reporters who are looking for, who are stuck because they don't have a story, and police arrest records. So on a slow news day, some reporter will go down to the courthouse and file a request to see the last week's arrest records. Perfectly legal request here in Florida, perfectly appropriate. Well, those arrest records will contain all kinds of details, and that reporter is free to report those strange details. And not all states have that kind of open access. So what you end up with is, you'll see a news story that in Ohio says something like, woman convicted of assault outside a local store, because that's all the details the reporter was able to get from the police. She assaulted another person. It was outside the store. That's all the details that she's able to gather from the cops. Well, here in Florida, they go to the cops and get the details, and suddenly it's Winter Park woman beats her sister unconscious with a dildo. Because unlike the story in Ohio, every single detail of the arrest is available here in Florida. And that's just the way it is. And we like it that way. So it's not that that weird things are happening in Florida that aren't happening anywhere else. It's just we're just more willing to talk about it than the rest of you guys. I know that sounds like a joke, but it's not. It's God's honest truth. We're just more willing to talk about our weirdos. And personally, I prefer it that way. I've always been a proponent of the idea that government works best in the sunshine, and that's why we call them sunshine laws. Okay, let's get our Aardvarks in here. There we go. Okay. And let's see. Aardvarks. That diddly dink dink you heard in the background is my phone. Somebody messaged me. Let me see. Ah, okay. It's my pharmacy letting me know that my drugs are ready. That's good. I'll do that when I get done here. Okay, and let's have the keepers and the mechanics and the veterinarians check them every monthly or every 3 months or whatever. Okay. We're going to put some bedding down over here. Let me see. Habitat. Filter for species. Aardvark. Get rid of the blueprints. I know they were a burrowing species, but I gave them a nice shelter. They get a forage box. Okay, let's see if I've got a nice forage box that'll fit in here. Right there. And the placement of the plants will give them a little more privacy. There we go. And let's see. Barrel feeder. We'll put the barrel feeder over here. The scratchy wall. Slow feeder. We'll just put that out in front. What do you think? Purple, beach ball, or the pumpkin? Right, pumpkin. Ice ball? Nah. But we will give them a termite mound because those are always fun. We'll put the termite mound way over here. Okay. Let's check with our aardvarks, see if they need anything. Hard shelter? Nope, it's right there, dudes. They've got enough space. Okay, hard shelter. They want more shelter. Okay. Well, I know how to do that. Can I use one of these? There's a way to maybe fit this in here somewhere. Yeah, over here. Let's put some more bedding down underneath here, just to have it. I don't really need it, but might as well, right? Well, okay, now the hard shelter is 100%. The terrain, what do we got? We got too much short grass, not enough long grass. Okay, let's get that paintbrush out. And we'll lower this size to something more rational. And let's just make all this long grass. I'll put some more long grass over here since they really like the long grass. Okay. And they need some soil. Well, normally I'd put, you know what, we're going to put some soil over here. That'll do it. Plants and coverage, yeah, they're a grassland species. They don't need much plants. However, I'm going to come over here to where I put the ostriches. I'm going to grab this tree. Get a copy of it. Whoa. I like this. I like this tree. It's a good tree. So we're going to use it right there. All right. What's left? Oh, a little too much coverage. Okay. Well, in that case, let's get rid of that tree. Much better. Okay. Their enhancement is good. Social's good. Population's good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a functional habitat. Now let's lay down some path. Let's bring this down to 6. There we go. Okay. All right. And then what I'll do is I'll just trim this back like that. Now let's see. We need some of these. Okay. And we'll get all the education up. Very important, these things, because this is what convinces your guests to donate money to you. And you want them donating money to you. Speaking of donating money, we need some donation buckets. Right there. Doesn't matter how much they're donating as long as they're donating. And last but not least, we need an animal talk. Where are we going to put it? How about right here? Okay, Aardvarks is July in game right now, so we will make this a September talk. We'll give them some music from the conservation playlist. All right. Always put down your benches and your trash cans, guys. Because otherwise, your guests will litter at the drop of a hat. Okay, let's double check with your aardvarks. How are they doing? They're doing just fine. Everything's good. Everything's good. Looks good. This is a pretty basic habitat, but it provides everything the animal needs. It doesn't look that horrible. It looks pretty good, in fact. Happy family of aardvarks doing their happy family of aardvarks thing. Yeah, I like laying down plants because plants fill out the area and just make it look like it's actually something instead of nothing. Which I know doesn't make much sense, but it is what it is. There we go. Okay. Let me know what you think in the comments below, please. I love hearing from you. I want to hear from you. Did you enjoy the build? Do you want to talk about anything? Ask me questions. Point something out. Anything at all. I'll talk to you about it. In the meantime, I will see you in the next episode, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
There's a solution, you could be a part of it. There's a revolution, you could be the start of it. Better get a move on while there's still a chance of it. If there's no improvement, this could be the last of it. Nature was a haven, now we need saving. No more conversation, time for cultivation. We all got a part to do to help the world pull through. But you gotta build a zoo. This is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The forest protected shall prosper, the forest neglected shall die. Give an aptitude to change attitudes, cause we have to prove it. That planet to grab your shovel. There's work to do, the world's in trouble. You gotta